But basically, what I want to say is that the connection is difficult for guitarists. This is one of the reasons why I really want to get this course out. You know, we start playing and it's patterns, and the beginner looks at the fretboard through the patterns. And at some point, the ear starts to develop a bit. You know, it has to as you play and you hear what you play. Eventually, people sort of start to remember, oh, I know what this, I know what that lick's going to sound like just because I played it 1,000 times and I've heard it and I know what's going to come out. But they don't know the whole fretboard. They don't know when the idea occurs, what the corresponding place is on the neck to be able to make that work. And usually they're stuck in box one as far as what they're actually familiar with. And then along comes, you know, some tidbit of information, you know, hey, learn the cage system. And now you can, you know, you play all these, you know, E chords and on the neck. And you think, oh, I'm going to learn the whole neck. Great. And then you learn that and you realize, wait a minute, that's kind of cool, but it's completely irrelevant because I don't actually play these chords. You know, no song is going to require that. Or the G form, are you kidding? You know, who's going to do that in a song? We use the chord shapes that are convenient. And you only get good at what you practice. So if you're only practicing the parts on the neck with the chord shapes you know, you never weld the whole thing together. And that's what the fretboard mapping system is about. It's an application system that walks you through step by step with actual backing tracks through a series, you know. So I'll just give you a little example, the very first example. It's real simple. But we take E, and of course we never have situation, you know, where you're, well, okay, should I say never? Never say never, because maybe sometimes you will. Generally speaking, we don't have a situation where we're just playing one chord all the time. Usually we're playing over progressions. Not entirely true, because sometimes I'll play over a drone, but you know, that's kind of an unusual situation. So usually it's progressions when you're playing a melody or a solo. And I start with just 2 chord progressions. You see, that's the problem with the cage system. Well, it's great, but it doesn't really help when it comes to learning how to apply your knowledge of the fretboard to real progressions that are changing